So, hello, good morning to all of you. Om Shanti. Anu sister, am I audible okay?
You are.
Is that okay? Okay.
Yes.
Your speakers were quite loud volume, so maybe you can decrease. It's like very loud. Okay. So, welcome all of you. Om Shanti once again. It's 9:05. Welcome to the Spirituality in Practice Part 2. And before we move on, I will just start with a welcome meditation. All of us take a deep breath. This brief introductory meditation. Let's move on to today's today's session. So, welcome all of you once again. Don't worry, people who are new who have joined, you may be wondering, oh, we have missed Spirituality in Practice Part 1. So, please don't worry about that because all these modules are mutually exclusive and the parts are also mutually exclusive. So, even if you haven't done Part 1, you can still do Part 2. So, I move on to the next slide. Yeah. So as you can see, Vihasa is been running now since almost the end of May. So it's exactly around 2.5 months now. We are doing it regularly every weekend. We have covered positivity, though I must say positivity, one part is remaining. If you all say we can do it maybe later after finishing the other modules. We have covered building resilience and valuing the self in detail, as you can see the dates. We have done last week Spirituality in Practice Part 1, and today we are doing the Part 2. So before we move on to what is in Part 2, let us just briefly take a recap of what we did in Part 1. If you remember that we had discussed about who a spiritual person is, what are the qualities and values that make him spiritual. Then we went into an experiential session of experiencing how wonderful things take place in life and how wonderful nature is as well. Everyone experienced that nature is really a wonderful place to be in, and how being in nature connects you to your intrinsic spirituality. We experienced that in the visualization exercise last time. And also we were on a very reflective level, on a very brainy level, we tried to understand these two concepts of what was health and healing and what exactly is the meaning of spirit and spirituality. So we tried to come onto the definitions, various concepts of these two things. And today we'll be going in the depth of spiritual care uh, in practice. How do you really practice that? How can I be spiritual in my dealings with people, in my dealing at work, at home, wherever, in my behaviors, in my action? So it's all an action planning exercises today we should be doing. And with this, I actually would go further. I would like to introduce myself. I'm sure we don't need to introduce so much in detail. I'm Manoj. I am a doctor by profession. I specialize in kidney problems in children. That's called pediatric nephrology. And I am attached to KEM and Jahangir Hospital in Pune, and I'm a professor at DY Patil Medical College. And I have been associated with Brahma Kumaris since almost 11 and a half years now, and with values in healthcare this program since 2014, 6 years. And it's really a beautiful experience, a learning experience all the time when we sit with each other and interact in groups. We all come out with so many sharings and we learn from each and every session. So I would now move on to Anu's sister, who will be the co-facilitator for today, and she'll be leading you for the further exercises. Over to you, Anu sister.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. So this is Anu. I'm joining from Canada, Vancouver. By profession, I'm a research scientist in medicinal chemistry in the pharmaceutical industry. And it's about 10 years I'm with Brahma Kumaris, and just starting with this program, Values program. And both Brahma Kumaris meditation practice and this program of values are really very, very benefiting, and such a learning experience to be a part of this program where we share with each other and go deeper and discover and share the values we hold within. values define our life. So I'm really happy to be a part of this program and looking forward to spend the next 2.5 hours with all of you exploring further the spirituality in practice that we have within us. Thank you, Manoj, brother. And let's move to the first section of the whole program. Maybe the next slide. So it's a warm-up exercise. So let's know each other. Let's wake up to self and to each other. We start the whole session. So one question I want you all to reflect on, that is, what activity makes you feel spiritual? So this is a spirituality session. So let's see if you know it. We'll be exploring throughout the session. So what that one activity that you do that makes you feel spiritual? And sure, you all have a notepad and pen that request every session to bring in. So write it down. That's you. What activity that makes you feel the spirit that you are? So I'll give a minute. We'll take some sharings. Okay, hopefully that's good enough time. So you looked within. So what is the activity that makes you feel spiritual? Who would like to speak? You can unmute yourself and speak. We would like to hear from you. And then some, if you prefer, you can put it on the chat box. So I would say just go ahead one after the other. Who wants to?
So, Anu sister, sorry to interrupt. If you can just share your slides so that I can type it in my slides in the background.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so who will speak? Who is ready to say what is the activity that makes you feel spiritual? We'll not go with raising electronic hand, maybe otherwise I'll call out names. We'll speak up. Shaila, you are ready to speak?
And it has to be a very brief sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just maybe 5 second sharing.
Okay, who is ready
Activity.
to speak? Please.
Yeah, Dr. Sushma, can I
Yes.
say?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, the activity which makes me feel spiritual is like doing introspection, sitting quiet at one place, then listening to others, calm.
Okay, listening to others. That's beautiful. You feel that. Thank you so much, Sushma. Who else?
Yes,
Seema,
Om Shanti.
go ahead.
Yes, Om Shanti, sister. To maintain peace and calm in worse situations, in negative situation, when I maintain myself, peace and calm.
Okay. So you try the activities that you try to maintain your peace and calm. Yeah. So who is this? Who spoke? Okay. So what I will request that you say your name and say the activity. Who is next? Who would be speaking? Vinay? Vinay?
Okay, can move on to
Hello,
someone
Om
else if
Shanti.
there's no one. Yeah.
Yeah, Om Shanti. Uh, Sitting in silence and working on the soul qualities makes me feel spiritual.
Sitting in silence. That's nice. Oh, Reena, you want to speak?
Helping people and balance in tough situations.
Great. Thank you. Shashikala, you share?
Yes, seeing, are you able to listen to me?
Yes.
Hello?
No, but your voice is very low volume. If you can speak up a bit louder.
Okay. Seeing observing nature, walking, eating, painting and yoga.
Anu sister, can you hear? I can't.
Yes,
So you can just tell
nature.
me what it is. Yeah.
In nature, walking, painting, at least that much
Okay.
I recorded.
Okay.
Falguni,
No problem.
Falguni. Okay, who else is ready? Quickly, let's go for it. Who would be speaking? Naresh?
Om Shanti sister.
Yes, we can hear you.
Connecting with God by visiting temples,
Okay,
spiritual places.
thank you. Dr. Mehta,
Okay.
would you like to speak? Thank you. Welcome.
Simplicity and being loveful.
Being loveful. That's beautiful. Yes, thank you. Arvind, you unmute yourself, please. Then maybe Murali, if you can be ready after. Okay,
Yeah.
Arvind, sir.
Hi, good morning. So,
I was telling you that whenever I feel very happy from inside, then I suppose that I am spiritual.
Okay, very happy from.
Can you just repeat it, please? I didn't hear. It's very difficult
Yes,
to hear. It's low volume.
brother, he said when he feels very happy, he feels
Okay.
spiritual.
Happiness. Okay.
So Murali, are you ready?
yeah. So, when I help or do any activity without expecting anything in return.
Right, help or any activity without any. Thank you. Who else would like to speak? I see Falguni has put on the chat box. Filling and drinking water in matka. Prayers. That's beautiful. Thank you. Rakhi?
So can you please repeat? Feeling or drinking? Feeling while drinking water.
No, filling up water, like filling
up water.
and
Okay.
drinking water from or in the, what is that?
Okay.
Mud, yeah, matka. So that clay pot.
Fine.
Prayers.
Yeah, go ahead. No problem. Next.
Is the Dhondi Ram is ready? Patil, Dhondi Ram Patil. Supriya?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. For me, it is like listening to spiritual lectures and experiencing them.
Okay, listening to
And
spiritual
listening
lecture.
to that.
That's good enough. Thank you, Supriya. How about Dr. Lata? Okay, Guru. Shashikant?
Hello.
Okay, yes.
Didi, I think it reflects like feeling very light, having feeling of lightness.
Okay, feeling of lightness. That's good. Thank you. Raj Chetty? Raj?
Shanti.
Yes.
Om Shanti, helping people, assisting people.
Okay, we can't hear you that well. Okay, Redmi.
Om Shanti.
Can you put it on the chat box, please? So Redmi, are you ready to speak? You have to unmute.
Om Shanti. Yeah, helping.
Okay, be happy. That's good. Redmi, can you hear us? Okay, Shashikant says while doing asanas and exercises. Okay, Guru says walking between nature. Dr. Lata says feeling light. So that's very good. We can take 2 more sharings. If anybody wants to volunteer and speak up, please.
Yes, reading Murli, godly versions of Brahma Kumaris.
Okay, reading Murli. That's beautiful. What else? Who else will be speaking? Divine sharing. it's good if you put your right name, but who is the divine sharing BK? Okay, so Raj said assistance to others, helping others. Rakhi said maintain peace and calm within. So that's quite a bit of many things that we know actually what makes us feel spiritual. We are exploring on that. It's beautiful sharing. Maybe we can see.
So Anu sister, can I share it now?
Yes, brother.
Okay, thank you. So I hope all of you all can see it. If I can just request all the others to mute their mics because there's a lot of background noise. Okay, so as you can see, people have, it's a beautiful mix of different things. It's value based. Dr. Mehta said loveful, someone said being happy and happiness. So it's all value based activities which are a part of spiritual care. Then helping others, maintaining peace and calm, being lightful, Dr. Lata said was also good. Someone said reading Murlis and listening to spiritual lectures, that also invokes your spirituality and spiritual care within. Then while performing something physical, like while doing asanas and exercises. So, and someone also said filling up water. Such a simple activity can also make you feel very spiritual. Filling up water and drinking it from the matka, because that cold sheetal water gives you the feeling of sheetalta inside. So it's beautiful sharings, and see, each one of us have something or the other different to make us feel spiritual and also document spiritual care in practice. So thank you so much, and I'll lead it on to now to Sister Anu for the further proceedings. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone. That's beautiful. How we feel spiritual, right? So value-based actions that makes us spiritual. So let's quickly go through the introduction of the program, which whoever are connecting back, they know, they have heard about it. So this is the values workshop, a spiritual approach. And as we all just talked about, values make our life beautiful, that bring us that good feeling within. So this program is also called Vihasa, that's the short form of it. So it is a personal and team development program. And as you can see, it's developed into really structurally, moduled program that deeply explores into different values. So today we are doing spirituality. So why values are needed? Values are needed for every one of us, isn't it? So when we express values and when we others express values in interactions, that is where life becomes beautiful. So the emphasis has to be on values. Whenever it is not a value, that doesn't make us happy, peaceful, calm. So when we understand that, that's where we can go within and bring out our values into action consciously. We may be using values many times, but not really noticing this is a value. So this program intends to bring back the emphasis on values in actions. So just few. So why? Because it is for well-being for all. Why this program, such a program is needed? Because when I am happy, I share happiness. So it is about finding myself within that value-based myself, so that I can be happy, I can be peaceful, content, and that's how I share it with others. So for whom is it? Particularly, it is developed for healthcare practitioners, because in the healthcare practice, doctors, nurses, I say that the profession itself is giving value. So they care, and care comes with the feeling, how you are doing, what kind of feeling you're putting into the care. So it is more than the treatment protocols or medicines. It's the care that brings healing. So it was developed for them. However, it is for every professional, every individual, because there is stress in every level, and there is always, we have to find the right balance in life. So this program benefits everyone. And it was developed by the Janki Foundation. As you can see, the group of experts, actually, the psychologists, and then all kind of occupational therapists, lecturer, all in the healthcare sector. They developed it, and the inspiration was Dadi Janki, who is the late head of the institution Brahma Kumaris. And in her early days, she was a nurse, and she believed that life, what is the right way to live, is to give before being asked for. So you don't need to be asked for to give something. So it is a natural instinct within us. And that's how she had that strong sensing energy in her. And she has been the very popular spiritual leader who has touched millions of hearts all over the world. So one time when she was in the hospital in London, she was not well. She saw the doctors, nurses, the care that they are giving is quite a lot from the surface level, but they are not really happy within. So she felt that we need to do something for them. And that is when she approached this group of people, and this program was developed. So while developing this program, they focused on 3 principles. The key principle one is that physician, heal thyself. Each one of us take care of ourselves. We must be feeling in that healing stage all the time. And so a program that can bring that healing or bring everyone in touch with their inner true self. That was their first principle they focused on. Then the second principle is learning through direct experience. So values cannot be taught. When you experience it, it has to be seen by yourself in your own life, using the same values every day, which maybe go unnoticed many times. So these exercises take you through the experience of values that already exist in you, and that brings the motivation to take it to our daily life. So that's where I'll show in the next slide. It's called a facilitated program. And as you experience it, as you discover it in you, rediscover, the key principle 3 is that you can take it to a personal life or work. So you'll apply it in your life. So as it's called a facilitated experiential learning, so that we are not teaching here, but we'll take you through the exercises of reflecting on your own, in your very own life situations, and you will find those values there. So when you hear something, you'll forget. Then when we see something, we remember. And when we do, when we get involved, we understand. And that stays with us. And all these exercises will be done in silent, are the silent self-reflection kind of exercises. And we share with each other in a supportive environment where the, the process is appreciative inquiry, like having that positive attitude for the self, for others, as we share and listen to each other. That makes us learn. And this program is run by trained facilitators. See, more than 50 countries it's been used, it is being used, and it's quite beneficial. So for all the exercises here, the learning tools are these experiential tools. So meditation, that is again, going deep within, reflecting on the self. Visualization is again what you are, you move further from imagination to visualization, that you see it in front of you. You can visualize something and that becomes a reality. Reflection is again learning through the past, reflecting through our own life. Appreciation, again, as we said, having that positive, supportive feeling for each other. And all these exercises use these tools where we experience the values in such through these methods. And listening is a skill itself. You all have to know non-judgmental listening, creativity, and playfulness. These are all when we were children we did, so it kind of develops your intuitive right brain. We have become very logical as we live life, so this helps to become carefree, spontaneous, how children are, and that is where we are relaxed. Each individual feels that, and you can see the values that we hold within. And these are finally the 8 modules they developed, exploring deep into all different kinds of values. And we have done few already, and we are in spirituality, in practice, healthcare, or any practice. That's what we are doing. So this is about the program. Thank you very much. And let's move forward through the. I'll pass it over to Dr. Manoj.
Thank you, Sister Anu, for giving us the brief introduction. Before I move on to the exercises, we have one of our co-facilitators with us, who is Dr. Ashok Mehta. He was a bit late in joining, a couple of minutes, therefore we missed his introduction. He is the medical advisor to Janki Foundation, and he's been instrumental in getting the program to India. So we are really all very indebted to him and thankful to him for allowing us to and helping us in doing all these programs and giving us a chance to do it in India as well. I would like him to say a few words before we go on with the exercises. Over to you, Dr. Ashok Mehta. A few blessings from you before we start.
Thank you, Manoj.
Yeah, thank you.
And Anu Ben for doing this beautiful facilitation in the virtual world. I think we are very fortunate that we have new technologies. Previously, to run this program, we had to spend a whole weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 8 hours program. And then we had to travel, we had to organize so many things. And here we are at home, sitting and enjoying excellent facilitation with the same experiences. So I think facilitation in the virtual atmosphere is going to help us to take this program to large number of people. I think this is the first time that we are doing. So I think we will keep on improving the technology. We'll keep on improving improvisation. We will be able to handle larger number of people. And finally, I think we'll be able to bring a transformation, a qualitative change in our life, which you mentioned that this is meant not only for the healthcare professionals, but all professionals who work under stress. As a matter of fact, the chronic stress is the major issue in the present world, even in India. For example, all the diseases related to chronic stress are a major health challenge in health. High blood pressure, coronary artery disease, diabetes mellitus, anxiety, depression, addictions, cancers, and so on. In other words, if we can reduce the stress level by whatever method, whether it's with yoga and asanas, with meditation, but this kind of a program which takes you back to your values, which we like, all of us have values. We are all valuable individuals, but they lie submerged. We call it, and we won't call it immersed. In other words, they are already existing. Unfortunately, we have not been aware of it, so it's becoming more aware and awake. So I think this is a wonderful experience, and best wishes, and I hope that we continue in a big, big way across the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. It's an honor to have you always. Thank you very much. Very inspiring to have you here. Yes, Dr. Please go ahead.
Okay, no worries. Thank you, sir, once again. And let's move on. I would just like to draw your attention to all of you. When you were looking at the key principles, maybe I'll just start sharing the screen, Anu sister, so I can do that. So I hope you can see the screens now. as you can see in front of you, the three key principles. Why I'm taking this slide, I'll spend a minute on this slide because the first key principle is you will be healing yourself, you will be your own physician. And the second principle is you will be learning through each other's experience. That is what we call facilitated experiential learning. So it's basically you're learning from each other's experience. We are not your teachers or your lecturers. We are just there to help you, push you a bit, and then you have to drive your own journey. But most important is the last key principle. This today's part 2 module is all about key principle 3, that is action planning. What you have to do is whatever you learn from here, you have to take it back into your practice. So all these today's exercises are basically based on this principle, that whatever I learn over here, how can I translate it into my personal and professional life. So with this, I move on to the first activity, which is what is spiritual care. I'm sorry to doing on the slides up and down. So this, if you can just go back on your 15 minutes ago, you all started with some activity where you have demonstrated spiritual care. So if you can just take that in your mind, all of us know what is the meaning of taking care of the spirit, because spiritual care basically means to take care of the spirit, the energy which is there within. Though in our busy lives, we really identify ourselves wrongly that I am the body, but all of us know that essentially it is taking care of the energy inside. Because the mental and the emotional upheaval which we go through the entire day can really drain away my spiritual energy and can really make me feel so bad by the end of the day that I feel depressed, I feel sad, I feel very low, I feel lonely, because somewhere or the other I have forgotten that I have, I have forgotten my own identity, my own spiritual identity. So with this brief background, let me now move on to the next slide. Sometimes things hang up, sorry. Yeah, so now you can see what you all have to do now. This is a self-reflection activity. There will be no groups. You'll have to just reflect on this, but first listen to the instructions, and then I'll be playing a bit of meditation music to help you go in the depth of that. So it's again, the first question is, what is the meaning of spiritual care for me? So try to come out with an instance in your life where you have witnessed it. That's the second point. When have you witnessed it? So it could be, I'll give you a simple example, like when I was traveling in a bus when I was a small kid, and I was around 10 years of age, and I saw an old lady with a stick coming. So what I did is I just gave my seat to her. I said, "Her, please sit, Mataji." So she said, "No, no, it's okay. You're small. I had my school bag as well." So she said, "No." I told her, "No, no, it's okay. You need it more than me." So I'm just giving an example. This is an example of taking care of someone, helping someone. So it's in one way taking care of the spirit. So it's a spiritual care. So it could be witnessing where I have done some activity. So this is I have done with someone. I have taken care of that person. Or vice versa, you have witnessed it in a way that someone else has taken care of you. Whether you were admitted in a hospital or you were on the street, suddenly you fell down for some reason and someone came and picked you, as simple as that, to something as big as like a doctor taking care of you while you are being operated by him. So something like that. So it's two ways, whether you have done it or whether someone has done it onto you. That is an instance. And second is, what does spiritual care mean to me? So what is the basic underlying value system or the qualities which someone has shown which tells you the meaning of spiritual care? So you have to reflect on these. Take a few minutes and please reflect on the same. I'll just play a bit of music for y'all. So I'll just repeat, it's a self-reflective activity. You have to come out with the meaning of the spiritual care and reflect on a situation where you have witnessed it. So once you have done it, sit with yourself, relive that moment which you have reflected on, the moment of spiritual care. Relive that moment inside and see what beautiful feeling it creates inside you. So for those who have finished doing, we'll give a couple of minutes to others as well. So be in that feeling mode. Where you have taken spiritual care of someone or someone has taken care of you. Okay, so welcome back. I'm sure it doesn't take a long time to reflect on that. So I would just request Anu sister to be ready with are you ready sister to write as well? Anu sister?
Yes, brother, I'm ready.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So what I would now request all of y'all to do is just listen to me first before we go ahead. In the next 15-20 minutes or so, as you can see in front of you, we have uh, the PowerPoint slide, which shows on the left-hand side, brief description of the spiritual care. So when you share, your description should be very brief. You don't have to tell us the entire story, just the moment and what it was, and example when you witness. So it could be like, which I gave you an example of helping someone in the bus. So I would now want spontaneous sharings from people. So you can go ahead and share. So let me just see if you all want to raise hands, or I can just pick up on you all. Okay, so can we start with Abhishek? Are you there, Abhishek? Okay, if not, we'll move on to next. Akash Kolhe. If not, Arvind Chandra Verma. I am audible, right, Anu sister?
Yes, and everyone, you
Okay,
can
okay.
unmute yourself. So please unmute and speak.
Okay, so if
Okay, sir.
okay, who's speaking? Okay, can't hear anyone. So I'll just take in order so that we don't miss people. Dhondiram Patil,
Manoj,
you
can
want to
I
share?
speak? Falguni here.
Yeah. Yes, Falguni, go ahead. Thank you for being so spontaneous. Good, go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, so for me, spiritual care means that the universe knows what I need at that point and sends it to me without me asking or struggling for it. This is what spiritual care means for me.
Okay, perfect. So universe, perfect. So Anu sister is writing. And when did you witness it?
So I have witnessed it every day in my life, from my family, from my friends, from my son and my
Okay,
spouse and teachers.
fine. Great. So your example is everyday living examples. Very good. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Anyone
I'll
else?
mute myself. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks. I think
Brother
Dr.
Manoj.
Sush. Yeah,
Yeah,
is it
Dr.
Sushma
Sushma.
Ladia? Go ahead, Sushma. Yeah.
Um, to me, spiritual care means expressing my own innate qualities of my own spirit, like helping others, being peaceful, joyful in any kind of situation, and show my patience while treating or while behaving with others. And
Okay.
recently, I'll just share my recent experience that in this lockdown, when everyone has fear of getting infection, I always gave service to my nearby people when they call me for the laboratory services. I kept my lab open, collected blood, released report in time. Many times my technicians were not available because of lack of transportation, but I gave them service. just thinking that they need me in this stringent time.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Anyone else after that? Murali Kannan has unmuted. Yeah, go ahead, Murali.
Yeah. So for
Yeah.
me, actually, I do volunteering. Okay, volunteering for a social cause, and when I help the kids, I basically teach for a government school. Actually, we teach English for a government school. So when I do volunteering and without expecting anything in return, that is my description of a spiritual care. I'll tell you one incident. What happened is like. We were volunteering for a campaign, and as part of that, we had to enroll kids for schools. Okay, the school, the kids from the local basti. So when I had to actually convince the parents and the school, and then enroll the kids to the school, right? That and the next week when I saw the kids in the school uniform, that was magical for me. So that was my moment wherein I was able to sense this. So for me, actually, example is when I volunteer and teach kids. That is when that's when I witnessed the spiritual.
It's great. Very good. Thank you. Anyone else motivated to speak? Want to share your stories and meanings?
Om Shanti, Dr. Sam.
Yes.
Yeah. For me, to fulfill someone's needs like thirst and hunger.
Okay. I think Shashikant is speaking, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So quenching someone's thirst and hunger.
So example like what I do is I give water and some food to birds, animals.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Shashikala, you want to speak? Yeah.
Can you speak loud?
I don't think she's speaking. She's unmuted, Shashikala, but you are not speaking. We can't hear you. Okay. In the meantime, anyone else?
I would like to share my experience.
Who is it speaking?
This is Reshma.
Reshma, go ahead. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. As per me, spiritual care is something about when you are giving something to others without expecting anything in return from them.
Okay.
And one example I can give you is during this COVID situation, like there was a fear in people's mind. So one of my friends, even he was, he was down with all the situation and whatever was happening. So I just gave that person one link I shared about the affirmations which Shivani Didi is telling, and listening to all those affirmations, that person was so motivated, and it was very positive experience for him. So he was able to overcome all that negativity in his mind. So I think that helped him, and now he has also done the course, the 7 days of online Raj Yoga meditation course. So that is what I think I was able to help that person.
Absolutely. You're very right. It's a very small, minor act. You just give us link. It's a
Yeah,
one
it was
second job, but
just
it's very
one
effective
video,
job.
and it changed his life and the thinking.
So it could be as small as that, but highly effective. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Yeah. Anyone else? Yes. Who is
So this is
that?
Abhishek here. Yeah,
Abhishek. Yeah.
Abhishek
Go
here.
ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think you asked me earlier, but yeah, I was not on mute. Yeah. So the simple definition based on what you explained, that what is spiritual care. Okay, it is my personal feeling. Okay, that every small act, starting from breathing, okay, to any act, okay, it is spiritual only, because everywhere we are involving, we are engaged with someone. Okay, we are taking care of someone. Someone is taking care of us, and vice versa. So as per me, based on what you gave me the definition, each single act of me doing for someone or anything or the other one doing for me involves spirituality.
Right. Good. Thank you. I would just
Thank you.
like to read a few responses from the chat box till the time other people are getting ready. So Dr. Aruna Khurana is writing that she is listening patiently to patients and guiding them appropriately. So Anu sister, you can write listening patiently and guiding patients appropriately with good wishes and feelings. So that is her meaning of spirituality. Spiritual care, sorry, not spirituality. And one more sharing is from Brother Guru, who mentioned the example is his mother's heart surgery was taken care of by a doctor. So mother's heart surgery would be the example in the second column, and the first column is service rendered by the doctor. So medical services. It comes an example as well. So thank you, Guru and Dr. Aruna Khurana. Yes, we move on to Lata is unmuted. You want to speak, Lata?
Hi, yes.
Okay. If
Uh,
yeah, okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Spiritual care means carrying that attitude which helps me to feel comfortable, peaceful, more satisfactory, happy, and lighter without expectation. Just Reshma ma'am told that.
Yes. Right. So all of you agree it is totally unconditional and totally not expected for, but you get it. So it is like a wonderful thing which suddenly happens. Good. An example you want to give, Lata?
Example are I feel especially that with me when I counsel my friends which are practitioners, um, like radiologists and all other faculties, when they have some hassle in their personal lives and they feel more relaxed with my talk.
Good. So it's
And
a sort of counseling.
another one, I used to have regular free consultation with specially needed persons with some financial help also.
Yeah, so for people who don't know, Dr. Lata Bahekar is a psychiatrist. She's a clinical person, so she's not just telling like that. She's a well trained psychiatrist, and she's saying from her own example. So she's a psychiatrist. We can do a virtual clap if people can clap for her. Thank you, Lata. Okay,
Thank
so
you, thank
Lata's
you.
yeah, so Lata's counseling skills will really help people too. So that's a spiritual care in one way. Yeah. So PS has done a clap as well. Thank you. And we would just take a few more examples. Mr. Arvind Chandra is waiting. He's with his video on as well. Good. So you want to share something? Go ahead.
Hear
Yeah.
me? Hello, can you
We
hear
can
me?
hear you. Yeah.
From my point of view, when your spirit is rather exalted by somebody, or you exalt somebody's spirit, that is the spiritual care. I was some 40 years ago having a girl child, eldest girl child was not supposed to be rather ominous, but somebody told me that I told somebody that I am having the girl child. See, he told me that you are supposed to be rather narrow. Man, who is having a only and lonely girl child? That exalted my spirit very much, and I suppose that is the spiritual care.
Okay. Thank you. I don't know. There's a lot of disturbance coming from people.
I think somebody needs to.
Okay. Okay, because we can't unmute all of you all. We can't mute all of you all because people want to share. So we have a couple of minutes left. Anyone else wants to share?
Hello.
Yeah, who's speaking?
Hello.
PS, is it? What's your name, please?
Hi, my name is Prasad.
Prasad, that's PS, correct. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, spirituality is it's kind of give and take both, without expecting anything. Like sometimes I have done giving experience. Sometimes like I have even taken the help from the others. It's very simple thing. Sometimes giving water, sometimes helping people to cross the road, blind people kind of thing. Sometimes helping people with money, and sometimes I even have got help from the others. Like I had a fracture in my leg, and I was out of country, and at that time for walking 500 meters also was taking 1 hour for me. So that time one lady offered me a trip to train station. That was great help for me. So it's like give and take for every humankind across this globe.
Right.
And that is
Good. So I'm happy that all of
anything
without
from that. without
Okay, so
expecting.
it's unconditional,
I
without
mean, by
expectation,
giving
without
you
any
feel,
conditions.
by giving you feel so happy after that. So you don't need anything other than that.
Right. Thank you. So it's happy to know that all of you agree that it's absolutely unconditional and not expect for, and you suddenly get it. So which is good. And since Anu's sister is exhausting on the writing, I'll just take one last sharing. And time is also flying fast. So one last sharing from
Yeah.
anyone who wants to. Yeah,
Can
who
I
is
say,
it?
Vinaya here from Pune?
Inaya.
Vinaya.
Vinaya. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Vinaya. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, spiritual care is, taking your care for your own self first, because I found it very difficult to do that initially. And as I learned to do that and take more care of myself, I was able to give care to others, is what I realized. And yeah, because there's a very thin line of difference between being selfish and taking self care. So uh, the experience that I witnessed doing this is, uh, before learning to take care of myself, there was more of uh, concentration was on I, me, mine, or about my own grievances. But uh, as I started doing self care and spiritual care about my own spirit, I was in a position to render this happiness and service to others. Uh,
Right.
for the last 5 years,
Okay.
yeah, I was giving service to deaf and mute children. So it was very
Okay, so we'll just
fulfilling.
write the deaf and mute thing. I was just waiting eagerly for the example. So finally you gave it.
Yeah,
So rendering services to deaf and mute.
yeah,
Okay. Thank you, Vinaya. Yeah.
yeah.
So if Anu's sister just wants to share the slide before that. Okay. In the meantime, Shaina is telling spiritual care is taking care of our own thoughts in all sorts of situations. So there you go. Yeah. So the slide before, it's okay. You can just go on the first slide. Yeah. Before that. Yeah. I don't know, for some reason it's a bit hazy to me, but I can still read. So it could be the majority of the descriptions are like helping people, listening to them, attitude of being happy and satisfied without expectation. Someone said it's universal, and it just comes to you without asking. So in some way or the other, it is connected to God, who is really taking care of you, helping you in anything and everything, whatever you want. Then also someone said about giving and taking without expecting. So it's all these activities which are like giving of help. And someone also said helping someone who's thirsty and hungry. And the examples are like quite a few examples are of doctors, mother's operation by a doctor, giving service during lockdown. Then when Lata said the psychiatrist that she counsels her to the low radiology friends, so that also helps. It's an example of spiritual care. And majority of them are again helping. So not only helping human beings, but also giving water to birds and animals is also a big service to not only mankind but the universe entire. So good. So with this we now move on to the next activity, which will be preparing you for the third activity. So I would now move on to the third activity. I'm not going to out it right now, but let's be prepared for the second activity. Over to you, Anu sister. Thank you all of you all for your sharings.
Thank you, everyone. I think there were still a few people who wanted to share, but you'll get the chance next time in the next one. So now, as we discussed so beautifully about the spiritual aspect within us, and I'm seeing most of us here know that. What is that within that makes us feel spiritual? And the simple meaning of spiritual, I think, is, as we are getting out of all these discussions, to feel good for the self, the respect, the love, the care. I feel taken care of, not by somebody else, but by myself, by knowing myself. So with all this reflection and understanding and thoughts, let's do a visualization. So we have already turned within, and we are taking a journey, a walk further within us. to find the inner sanctuary. What is that within us? Let's find that. I'll put some music. Sit comfortably and turn inward. Just see yourself, the spiritual energy that you are. Now, choose a scene in nature that you particularly like. As you see on the screen, the beautiful road, the middle of natural beauty. Can't see yet what is on the other side. And this is the road that's taking you within you. Walk slowly, enjoying the surrounding beautiful nature, the freshness, the fragrance, the colors and the beauty. And as you reach to the end of the road, see that empty space. And now imagine what you like there to be. What is that you like? What kind of natural scenery? That's of your choice. Maybe it is by the sea, in the mountains, or by the lake, or in the wood. Just think which one is that place that is close to your heart. You want it to be there in front of you. And again, that is within you, that beautiful place. It may be something that you know, or you can create it as you would like to. That is your special place, the inner sanctuary. That place is peaceful, it's very beautiful. It is your ideal place that is completely safe and secure, your own special place where you feel yourself totally alone in that high spirit in yourself. No one else, nothing else to disturb or bother you. So look ahead. What does it look like? What is that very special place deep within you that is the safe place for your spirit, that feels comforted, cared for, loved, totally peaceful? Are there trees and flowers? Do you notice any animals? Are there any smells or sounds? Whatever it is, in the nature. Now, in that scene, create a building or house. Visualize it. It's real in front of you, surrounded with the beautiful nature of your your liking. This house is your inner sanctuary, the place where you can stay in complete safety, which no one else can enter. So what does the building look like? What is the design of that house? The door, the windows, what are the colors of the wall? Use whatever materials you like. Be as lavish and creative as you like. Make it the most beautiful that you always wanted. So is it made of wood or stone? What shape is the roof? Where are the doors and windows? Now see, that house is set in the middle of a beautiful garden. So walk through that garden, closer to that house. And as you walk through the garden, see the beautiful plants, colorful flowers, the green grass on the field, fragrance of the flowers, up above the blue sky. You are walking through the garden of your own inner beauty. And as you reach to the house, now you open the door and enter inside. So, what is it like inside? Again, every little thing inside is of your liking. What colors, what textures, what design, what kind of furnitures. Put it all beautifully inside there. That's your most comfortable space. That is your inner sanctuary. So choose the lightings, the colors, the furniture as you like. Make it really very special. Make it a place where you feel really at home. And at this moment, as you feel the peace, the positive energy surrounding you, you feel good, happy, loved, positive for the self. And at this space where you feel cared for, loved, respected, you feel the same for others. Love, care, compassion. This is where your spirit completely rejuvenates, completely heals, feels complete. So this is your inner sanctuary that has a special atmosphere that seems to wash over you and make you feel good from the inside. Absorb that atmosphere for a few minutes. Take a deep breath in. Feel that total comfort deep within you. Time to leave. Have another look around your place. Take in the feeling of familiarity and happiness. Now slowly step out of the door to admire the view and the perfect setting of your house. Breathe that in and feel a sense of contentment. You are living only temporarily, as it is a place you can revisit at any time. It's always there, secured, beautiful, happy, deep within you. From time to time, you can come back whenever you want and feel a deep sense of relaxation in your spirit. So slowly, you are walking out, coming back to this present moment, to your day's activity. Now slowly, when you are ready, open your eyes and welcome back. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sister, for leading us into this visualization of the inner resource which we have, the sanctuary. You know, in a beautiful Canadian grass field which you showed with the road. So it is, that's the outer thing, but I think we all of us have a beautiful sanctuary inside which you made us explore. We had forgotten over a period of time we have such a sanctuary inside as well. So why this activity was done now? Because for the next activity, what I want you all to do is, you all have been empowered. Sister Anu has empowered you all by this visualization activity. You all know this. Everything is inside me. I just have to use it now. So I'll just quickly share my screen, Anu sister. So if y'all can see, y'all can see, right, Anu sister?
Yes, we can see. If you
Okay,
can
thanks.
make it bigger,
Yeah,
if
no, I
possible.
have. Yeah, that's fine. So this next activity is a very deep activity, and you all will be sharing with each other when you are in breakout rooms. So let me just give you a brief intro to this. As you can see, it's written, meeting the spiritual needs of patients and practitioners. I'm happy today we have around 7-8 doctors with us, so it is good for them. They have already covered quite a few things as a doctor, that they are practicing, and they have given something to the patients apart from the physical. Just to give you an example, like I am a kidney specialist for children, so we are always interested in knowing when we go for the rounds, we are interested in knowing what is the intake of the child. I mean, how much has he taken inside and how much has he poured out? How much is his urine? For us, urine is very important because that is something, if the child is not passing urine, we have to do something to make him pass urine. Otherwise, his kidneys have failed. So, this is something on a very physical aspect. So, 24 hours, the child and the parents are waiting for me to come for the round. I just quickly take around 5-10 minutes, but a few things which I can take which will help in accessing their spiritual needs is like listening to their. So if I tell them good morning, how are you? So this is also is taking care of them spiritually. And if I just stroke my hand, my fingers on the shoulder of the child and tell him, is everything okay? So this really also is another good physical gesture which meets your spiritual need. And very important, they are waiting for me 24 hours. They're just waiting for one glance of me. And if I tell them, you have anything to share, can I listen to something you want to say? So that just half a minute of listening also can induce a big healing in them, and the child will recover much more than if wouldn't have listened to him. So, these small things are our spiritual needs. So, I'm sure all of us, as doctors, we demonstrate. But now I know many are not doctors. So, please don't get disheartened that, oh, you're not a doctor. So, this activity is about you as a practitioner. The practitioner doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a medical practitioner. It could be, as I said, a simple activity, like if you're taking care of a patient. And the other thing is, this activity has two parts. One is from the patient perspective, and second is from the practitioner's perspective. So I think the first perspective is easy, because even doctors can be patients. All of us at some point or the other suffer through something. So let us move on to the depth of the activity now. So I don't know why it's getting always a bit stuck. Okay, I'll do it manually. Okay. So you can see the part A of the activity is meeting the spiritual needs from a patient perspective. So what you have to do in this activity is think of someone whom you have taken care of during their illness. It could be a very near and dear one, a colleague, a family member, whatever. Or if you don't have that experience, consider the second one, which is your own experience of illness, where you were ill and someone had taken care of you. So this is really from the hospital perspective, and where you are a patient with whatever illness you have. It could be even a mental illness, not only a physical illness. And then after you think of that in your mind, then reflect on these two questions. That first, what are my spiritual needs if I'm a patient? Or if I'm taking care of someone, what are their spiritual needs? So this is totally about spiritual needs, not about physical needs. And second is, as a patient, what did I value besides the physical care needed for them? Like, what did I value the most when they were taking care of me? Or if you are taking care of someone, what did they value what you were doing for them? So the first question is, what are the spiritual needs? And second is, what did you value besides the physical care? So I'll give you again another 5 minutes with this beautiful music in the background. Please reflect on these two things. And I'm sure all of you have a pen and paper to write down. So you can jot down a few things, because you'll be discussing in breakout rooms with your partners. Okay, so welcome back. I'm sure you have written quite a few things on what your spiritual needs are as a patient or vice versa. If you're taking care of someone, what are their needs? Okay, we now move on to the other perspective, which is the care providers or the healthcare worker or the doctor's perspective. It could be a doctor, nurse, even a class 4 worker, or even an administrator of the hospital. And before you read on the slide details, if you are not any of them, don't worry. Think of the spiritual needs of you in your workplace. So you are at your workplace as a professional, wherever you are, and what are your needs? So if you broadly now look at the COVID scene outside, you know what doctors and nurses are going through. So really take them into perspective and reflect. So as a doctor, what are my spiritual needs? Has really anyone spoken about what emotional and mental stress I am going through? That is one question. And what did I value besides physical care needed for the self? So it's not only just the wearing PPE and taking care of myself physically, trying to prevent myself from the infection, but when I'm wearing the PPE, there is a lot of physical discomfort as well, no doubt. But there's too much of emotional and mental strain as well, which I'm going through. And those 2 weeks, I'm, for example, on duty, I can't go home as well. What am I thinking? Apart from physical care, what are the other things which people should think of me as a doctor or even as a nurse? I think here I would say the nurses work more than doctors. So it's really hats off to them. And after you reflect on these two questions, then you can ponder. I think this question would be more relevant to the doctors here in the group. What are the skills and tools needed by practitioners and by the team to help them take care of your spiritual needs? So, I mean, as a doctor, what are the skills which I need in myself? Soft skills, hard skills, irrespective, which will help me in taking care of my needs. And what are the tools as well needed? So you can reflect on this question as well. And second, last one is what facilities and environments you need in your hospital. For example, I'll give you an example of our hospital in Mount Abu and also in Mumbai of Dr. Ashok Mehta is the director of both of these places. So, these places are actually, we say spiritual places, though they are hospitals, but the moment you enter them, there is a serene atmosphere because there's a small meditation room which is there right in the corner somewhere. So that the moment we go inside there as a doctor, as a patient, we really feel very calm and very relaxed. So the environment totally changes. So this is just one small example by having a small meditation room or a meditation corner if you can't afford a room. Or what other facilities, like any breaks which you want in between. Or it could be like I can give you an example whereby again in the hospitals can have a hour, a soft music can play in the background after every 1 hour so that the person can de-stress that just 1 minute in 1 hour. So something like that. So anything else which you need in your environment, any other specific facilities which you need to take care of your spiritual needs. So in the another 4-5 minutes, I would request you all to ponder on these questions, and then I'll tell you what to do in breakout rooms as well. So request all of you, the ones who have done, can just take a minute of silence. Focus your energy in front of the screen, the supreme energy, and try to take as much spiritual care as you can from that supreme source. In the meantime, others are finishing. Okay, so welcome back. So now what we'll do is we'll be going on into the breakout rooms. These are the beautiful names of the breakout rooms, which you all are accustomed to last time as well for people who were there last time. So in your rooms, you will be at least 3 people minimum, 3 or 4. You all can discuss your perspectives from the patient perspective, and it's good if any doctor needs to discuss about his perspective as well. So it will be very helpful for the group to know what doctors also want as a spiritual need. And after that, then after around 10 to 12 minutes, we will be coming back in the main room. Those instructions would be given to you. Will be giving you 10, around say 10 to 12 minutes. In between 5 minutes, when you are midway, you will be told this much time is remaining. And then the last 1 minute before that, you'll be getting a wake up call that your time is getting over. These are a few instructions about the breakout room, if for people who haven't done it before. If you need, so if you're not automatically directed, you will be automatically directed, don't worry, but you can join by clicking on the join breakout room. That icon, you can see it's mentioned here. If you click ask for help, we will be notified and we'll be helping you soon. You can see the breakout room written on the top. It is here. So here it is written breakout room number 2, but there your name, the group name would be written, and you'll be notified at the last minute when your 10 minutes are getting over.
So you want 10 or
Okay.
15, brother?
I think we are slightly short of time, so I think we can give 12 minutes. Yeah, 15 would be 12 minutes.
Okay, 12 minutes. And
Yeah.
I'll quickly read the
Read the
breakout
groups names. Yeah.
room names and your names. So please hear me out, and then you can check in the breakout room on the top the name of your group. So strong supporters, Manish Agarwal, Naresh, and Shaila. Mighty minds.
Anu sister, if you can show on the screen as well, so that.
I'm not sure. I'll try.
Okay, fine, fine. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It's okay.
Okay.
No,
So
go ahead. Go
I'm
ahead.
just
Yeah.
reading. Hear me out. And then mighty minds would be Dr. Sushma Lad, Dr. Vasant Lenovo K9. Soulful singers Dr. Lata Madhulika and Prasad. Truthful teens Guru Murali and Bishwesh Deshmukh. Faithful friends Raki and Seema, only 2. I think somebody left. Peaceful parrots Rajkishore, Reena, and Reshma. Valuable voyager Abhishek, Dr. Ashok Mehta, Falguni. Ruhani roses Shashikant, Vijay. So I think I'm gonna, yeah, so it's 2 and 2. Let me just do, I'll just move, hold on. Okay. So just the last group is Rohani Roses, Rakhi, Seema, Shashikant, and Vinay. I hope you heard it. If you can check it, otherwise again we will call your name. when you come back. So as Dr. Manoj said, you have to have one spokesperson who would be speaking from each group after you come back. So
yeah, so these instructions, just to reiterate that it's only one person speaking from the group. So you please decide who will be speaking. And this will be the slide layout format. So I think you'll just have to come on to a consensus of what are the patient needs on one side, what are the practitioners' needs, and any suggestions or ideas to meet spiritual needs. So like that, you can prepare some 3 columns: patient need, practitioner need, and some ideas or suggestions to meet the spiritual needs. So there you go. Okay, Anu sister, yeah.
okay, so you will be going now. So enjoy discussion. So here you go.
So Anu sister, we have okay, they are going. Okay. So are Shaina, Pankaj, and Abhishek joining later, or
Yeah, they're not actually. Yeah, you should. Okay, they're going. Yeah.
they are going? Yeah. So Abhishek and Shaina are left. They are in the one of the breakout rooms, right? You remember their names? No. Okay. So
Yeah, yeah,
Abhishek.
yeah. I remember only
Okay, fine.
Abhishek. Let's see where he
And
is.
Praful Bhai was there. So anyway, he went off again. Anyway, so now Abhishek, can we manually? We can't do him in any group now.
We can. Okay, I have to go. Somebody is asking for
So the
help.
group there was two in one, no? So you can put him there.
Abhishek. Okay, hold on. Where is Abhishek? See.
Abhishek's mic is not working, so he may not be able to participate.
Okay. Somebody was asking for
But
help.
his okay, you're sure Praful Bhai's mic is not working because he shared.
No, now he's not. His
Okay.
if you see the screen participants, the
Yeah,
mic
there.
जब तक icon नहीं दिखाई देता है, they can't even listen
हाँ,
to us.
okay. Now I saw उसका mic नहीं दिख रहा है. Right. Okay. So
I think I have to. I'm not sure. Somebody was asking for help. There is one person somewhere. Something changed. So many things changed. Okay, Abhishek
that's
didn't.
okay. So only thing is Abhishek, you can just Abhishek, can you hear us?
No, he can't. We are in the main room. We are in the main. Yeah. Okay. Now the recording.
Okay. So in the
now it has
meantime,
started.
it has started now. Yeah. So now go ahead, Manish brother. The second part of it. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. So actually, attention you have noted. Patient needs attention, regular care, constant motivation.
We finished that. So we are wasting time on that. So go on to the practitioner needs. Second
Okay,
column. Yeah.
practitioner needs be empathetic.
Empathetic. Okay.
First is be empathetic.
Mhm.
Second is be patient with the patient. Third is be kind.
Okay. Patient. Yeah. Go because we don't have
Fourth
so
is
much of time. Yeah. Go ahead.
fourth is being supportive. Fifth is uh, can invite a professional from Brahma Kumaris or some spiritual organization for providing meditation
Some
facility.
spiritual person. So some spiritual person. Okay.
Spiritual person, yeah, and
Okay.
yoga instructor for
Yoga instructor.
providing. Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Any
Yeah,
suggestions
that
or
is
ideas?
that's all.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. So now we see we are running short of time. Therefore, I'm slightly more pressed with time. We move on to Mighty Minds. So Sushma Lal, Vasant Sharma, or Lenovo, who will be sharing?
I Vasant Sharma will be sharing, Dr. Manoj. I will be sharing.
Okay, go ahead, Dr. Sharma.
We three had a discussion. We had Madam Rita, he said her daughter's father-in-law and mother-in-law, they were both positive of COVID-19. So his daughter and her son-in-law, they both came forward, and their children also. They all assisted to. Mother-in-law was in home isolation, so there they took care of her as well as running around for the father also, who was in a hospital, COVID-related hospital. So they lost him after due care. So may have been some comorbid conditions, some underlying medical conditions. So, but anyway, all her family people helped her at both the father-in-law and the mother-in-law. That was what Madam Pathro had to say, good words. And then Dr. Shushmalad was telling me that she remains calm, peaceful, and positive, and she needs rest because she is having some. She's having a problem of asthma. She's an asthmatic from her childhood, teenage. So
So
that
just
is
a
her.
minute. So
That time she gets
just a
hurt
minute.
up, but her family support she gets and can come out of that.
So Vasant Sharma, just hold on. In the
To sum
practitioner.
up, I mean, from patient's angle, active listening is my pardon.
Okay, so Dr. Vasant
Your
Sharma,
voice
we'll
is
just read the practitioner
breaking.
needs. Sister Anu, it is for you.
Yeah,
So it
from
is
patient's point of view, active listening is my. Is, yeah, yeah, yeah.
active
Manoj bhai,
listening.
Dr.
Yeah.
Manoj, हाँ जी, बोलिए sir.
So Vasant Sharma, let me just complete my
Active
sentence.
listening, smiling, and empathy.
Okay.
Okay. Active listening, smiling, and empathy from patient's point of view, and from practitioner's point of view, relaxation, meditation, and some words of
Dr.
solace means
Vasant Sharma,
if a
Dr.
patient
Vasant
tells you,
Sharma, if you can just pause
yeah,
for a
yeah,
minute.
sir.
Just pause for a minute. Sorry.
Yes,
Dr.
I am
Manoj, Dr.
able to
Manoj,
listen, but your voice is
there
breaking,
is a
sir.
voice lag. So whatever you say to Dr. Vasant, he listens it after
He's
10
also not able
seconds.
to hear. Okay.
He is able
Praful
to
bhai,
listen
are you
after
able
10
to listen to
seconds.
me?
Yeah, we can
Are you
listen.
getting me?
So, yes, Vasant, you
Probably
can
there
just
is
complete
problem
and then you can
in the
pause.
audio system.
Just complete and then you can stop.
Okay. The relaxation from the practitioner's point of view, relaxation, meditation, and some kind words from the patients. That's you are so careful, you are so smiling, you are giving motivating us, and you are working so hard strenuously for long hours, and still you are able to take care of us. Because doctors are having burnout, they have the emotional stress of their families, what is happening to their families, and for themselves also because of working late hours and long hours they during this COVID-19 time. So that they're putting their best efforts and taking good care of COVID patients, the mild, moderate, or the severe or critical, all that, whatever are there, the oxygen is needed, ventilator is needed, or ICU, whatever. So all that planning and with the
Okay.
PPE and masks and
Dr. Sharma.
goggle and all those things, they are very uncomfortable because a lot of warmth, they feel heat inside, but still one has to be doing his job. So that is where some relaxation, some meditation, so, and some soft music helps us, and some words of
Thank
solace
you,
from the
Dr.
patients,
Sharma.
that
Can
helps
you
us.
hear me now?
Pardon, sir?
Yeah, so Dr. Sharma, thank you. So I would just want to request all the people that we don't have to mention about the physical needs. These needs are all spiritual needs. So I would just like to reiterate the other people who would be sharing, we want only spiritual needs so that we save on time. Thank you. We move on to soulful singers, Lata Bahekar,
Right, sir.
Madhulika and Prasad. So who is
Thank you, sir.
Lata, Madhulika, Prasad, soulful singers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, one of our members, Madhulika, was not in our contact after some time. So Prasad sir and myself. So especially patients need, we have unconditional acceptance. That is one of. Then all other just mention our other partners, participants. Sorry. Then moral boosting, another
Moral
one.
boosting, yes. Okay.
That is another different one. And polite and kindful communication.
Right. Politeness, kindness, perfect. Okay. And then practitioner
And
needs?
for practitioners needs, we have need respect of limitations.
Right. Very true. Respect our limitations, please.
Yes.
Okay.
And sorry, another one.
One more. Okay.
Yes, and no, sir, that is quite one. And another same as, yes, yes.
No problem. Thank you. So good. So now we move on to truthful teams. I would just request the people who are not speaking to mute themselves because there's a lot of background noise. Truthful teams is Guru, Murali, and Vishwesh. Either of three, Guru, Murali,
Yeah.
or Vishwesh.
Yeah, Dr. Manoj, I'll go. Patient's needs, we've captured positive talk,
Positive thoughts,
mutual trust,
mutual trust. Okay.
compassion, empathy, and understanding.
Okay. Practitioner.
And in terms of doctors, we captured transparency,
Mm-hmm.
acceptance by the society,
Right.
and mutual trust,
Mutual trust. Okay.
honesty, gratitude,
Honesty, gratitude, mutual trust,
and respect.
and respect. Okay. Thank you. Quite a bit. Thank you. Who was speaking? Guru, is it?
No, it was Murli.
Murli. Okay. Okay. Next is faithful friends. Dr. Aruna, Dr. Pankaj, or Shaina. So who is there from that?
Yeah,
I'm the
Is it
Dr. Runa is there?
yeah.
who
For
is speaking? Shaina, is it?
yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
The network is very poor. Yeah, for we were also missed the guidelines for this discussion, but we still tried.
Actually, your voice is not
First, it was
clear.
for belief in doctors and confidence on themselves and on superior.
Can you raise your volume a bit?
And the listening also.
Listening. Okay.
Listening at whose part? You are cutting off.
And compassion.
Compassion. Okay. Practitioner needs.
Break.
You want to complete the practitioner needs, doctor's needs? I think anyone wants
Hello.
to help?
It's
Yeah, go ahead.
accepting.
Who's speaking? Yeah, Shaina,
Hello.
just hold on. Someone else is speaking. May I know who's
Having
speaking?
some breaks.
I'm Dr.
Are you
Pankaj.
able to listen?
Yeah, so Pankaj, can you share? So the other person can please stop sharing. So Pankaj, you go ahead, yeah, because her voice is breaking.
Whatever my earlier speaker given, that is also right. There's like confidence, positivity. But I am adding the here is in what practitioner needs. So we discuss about it. We practitioner needs a break in between. So break in between, and as the from the main slides we have showing that small prayer room and small music during the break is very much required for the doctor to get re-energized, so that the spirituality re-energized inside the doctors, and he or she can perform very well. This is our point.
Okay, good. Thank you. So that will also come, the small prayer room and music will come in ideas to meet spiritual needs. So we can write down later, Anu sister, no worries. That's okay. We move on to peaceful parrots. It's Raj Kishore, Reena, or Reshma. Who is sharing?
Yeah, brother, I can share. This is Reshma.
Yeah, no, Reshma, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so the patient needs care. Most of the points they are already covered. Patient needs care. He wants to feel better. He needs positivity. Uh, he needs boosting for his inner strength. Needs motivation.
Right.
And he also needs to keep well informed rather than keeping him in dark. Many times it is observed that the situation is not well informed to the patient.
Okay, good.
And
Practitioner needs? Yeah.
practitioners need, I can say, he wants open communication from patient's side. The
Okay.
patient should not be rude to him. The practitioner also expects belief and faith from the patient and the family.
Trust. Okay, trust, belief,
Trust,
faith.
yeah, yeah.
Good. Thank you. We now move on to Ruhani Roses, which is Rakhi, Seema, Shashikant, and Vinaya. Who is sharing?
Yeah, brother, I will be sharing.
Your name, please?
Vinaya, I'm Vinaya.
Vinaya. Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead. Yeah.
yeah. Most of the points are covered here. One more I would like to add from the patient's need is understanding. So they have the need to be understood. Yeah, and need for a compassionate ear, compassionate and empathetic ear. That is again to listen out. I think somebody has already shared. And from the practitioner's point of view, I think as practitioners, the need, the spiritual need is to charge their souls.
Charging.
So the,
Okay.
yeah, charging is very important so that they can serve, and they are also human beings and also have needs. So again, they need empathy and compassion from others as well. So
So empathy and compassion, Sister Anu. Yeah.
yeah, I
Okay.
think this is also shared. Yeah.
Fine. Yeah. So thank you. And we have the last group left, Valuable Voyagers. I think Falguni was unfortunately alone. So does Falguni want to quickly share, or if something is different from whatever we have written? Otherwise, we'll just move on.
No, no.
Falguni.
I joined Peaceful Parrots, and the points are covered by Reshma and
Covered.
Tina.
Covered.
Thank you.
No
How about?
problem. No problem.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, done.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Bolo, hello, sister.
नहीं, डॉक्टर मेहता भी शेयर नहीं किए
Yeah.
हैं.
You want me
So
to share?
Dr. Mehta, you want to share something? Yeah.
I can just say this few things. Spiritual needs of a patient. He needs a smile and a lot of love, support, especially when there is fear, anxiety of not getting well soon. Make him laugh, feel happy when he's sad, saying positive things, even if the things, if there are real problems.
Right.
Okay. I have written the patient, the physician needs, actually, I put the other way around. We need to talk positively to patients to remove their fear and anxiety. So, well, I think I didn't really realize that you want us to talk about ourselves. Of course, we need support. We need a appreciation in terms of yeah, giving to the patient whatever we are giving. Uh, we also need a smile back from the patient.
Right. Okay.
And one of the things which I always enjoyed was to make somebody laugh. That means you must share a joke. You tell the patient something and he returns the same. So both of you laugh together.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Mehta. Okay, so I think all the groups have shared. So I would just like to sum up, and Anu sister, let it be like that only. This slide, don't change it. So see, though we have divided them into patient need and practitioner needs, all of us are spiritual beings. So whatever applies in the patient column also goes to the practitioner column. So common things like compassion, even empathy, hearing out, positivity, honesty, transparency, all these come in both columns. Other specific things which practitioners need, they need those breaks, the spiritual breaks we can call, as someone said. They need a small prayer room. The administration should know that. Maybe a little bit of music. Sometime before on WhatsApp, we saw one of the doctors in PPE. I think it was a she. So she was dancing, like, so it was like, they were trying to de-stress themselves with some way or the other and trying to re-energize, because they really go through a lot of stress. And other thing in practitioner is accepting them as they are. open communication also from the patient side should be important. They say that the patient shouldn't be rude. Yeah, sometimes patients are very rude. And nowadays there is violence going up. Even in the COVID times, we are seeing violence towards doctors. So that's what we don't want. And as Dr. Mehta said, we also need support, appreciation, a smile back from the patient. And yes, meditation, relaxation, we have already covered that in detail. If I come to the
Sorry, brother. You are, yeah.
That's okay. Someone is being naughty and muting me. That's fine. That's okay. It's all technology. No worries.
Mistake. Yeah.
That's okay. It's okay. It's fun. So like smiling back and laughing at each other also is very good, Anu sister. No problem. In the patient needs, it will be the same ones which we covered. They need empathy. They need compassion. They need listening. Same spiritual needs, whether it's a doctor or patient. But apart from that, I think the few things which you all want as a patient is you all need to be understood. That's what they said. We need lot of love as well as a patient. Active listening is sometimes which is missing in our profession. Smiling, regular care, attention. We need to motivate them. We need to be positive with them. That's what they need, the positive thoughts from our side. So we really, as a patient and as a practitioner, we have to really work on our spiritual needs so as to empower each other, and which helps in healing. So that's it. Beautiful sharings. Apologies for people because Dr. Vasant Sharma, I was not able to hear him and he was not able, maybe some lag which was there, Praful Bhai said. So we didn't want to interrupt each other, but it is just technology. Sorry for that. So I think this is a beautiful sharing which you all have come out with.
No problem,
So I
sir.
think
That's so very nice of you.
that's okay, no problem. So we can now move on to the next activity. Anu sister, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Oh. So that was really beautiful sharings, and how we see a lot of similarities. We are all spiritual beings, and there has to be that mutual understanding and sharing of respect, care, love, joy. That's what it needs, right? So we have been really going through beautiful reflection of what is it actually that we can call as spiritual care. So what I would ask you all to reflect back through the session, what we have been discussing, and what is that has come out for you that's profound or you noticed well. So to do that, as you reflect through the exercises, what is that came out as the spiritual care? So close to your heart, or you understood. For that, reflect on these 4 questions. What have you been discussing about spirituality? What have you learned about spiritual care? What feelings have been aroused in you? So as you went through this, what were the feelings that you went through? And what has inspired you? There is something you heard that you felt that's right, or I didn't think of that. So 4 questions. What is that we were discussing about spirituality? What have you learned about spiritual care? The feelings you felt that arose in you, and what has inspired you? We'll give 5 minutes to reflect on this. I hope you have noted down few beautiful experiences of what is it to be taken care of spiritually and to give spiritual care in practice, every interaction to others. So it's more on the feeling level, how we can do our actions that can give that comfort, support, loving feeling to others. And likewise, I should feel cared of, right? It's like, it's not about what we do, but it's about how we do, how we come across to others, how they see and feel from my actions that's coming from deep within of myself, the values, the energy. So that was the beautiful reflection on the spiritual care that we all are taking home with us. I think continuing forward, I would request Brother Manoj to take us through the review and more reflection on the session today.
Okay, so I hope I'm audible now.
Yes, you are now.
Yeah, so I think actually not everyone was able to share, and from the groups also it was the same person sharing in the first and the third activity. So I would really, we have around 10 minutes. So before going into the session review, I would request the people who haven't shared to just share on these few points which are there in front of you, in the screen in front of you. So anyone wants to share, you can raise your hands, or if not, then maybe I can start picking up because I haven't been able to see. Is Seema around? Seema Bodre and Reena. If y'all are around, y'all can share something. Okay, both are not responsive. Shayla, do you want to respond? It is just in Vihasa, we make sure that everyone by the end of the session should be able to share something or the other. Yeah, Shayla, go ahead.
Number one, taking care of other human being.
Mm-hmm.
We must supportive and helpful. Number two.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Three, to help others whenever you get a chance to do so without fail.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Anything inspired you in today's session? That
no problem. It's okay if you are speechless anymore. That's fine. Thank you. So anyone else who's pending who hasn't shared, I think Naresh also didn't share, and Manish Agarwal. You all want to share on these 4 points something? I don't know who's
Naresh here.
speaking. Naresh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, spirituality is like staying positive within and giving it to others.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritual care is there in everyone. It is just we need to invoke it.
Right. Okay. Good. Thank you. So it's less to speak about, more to practice. We got your
Yeah.
hint.
Thank you.
Hello, this is Manish.
Thank you. So it's a good thing. Yeah, Manish, go ahead.
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah, Manish, we can
one
hear
thing
you.
silence. I mean,
Silence.
yeah, understanding and this spiritual, this meditation, which like Raj Yoga meditation, which the Brahma Kumaris uh, train us for, that is quite good. So Brahma Kumari's spiritual
this activities, they inspire me. And it is very nice. And it gives us mental peace, and keeps us away from mental health issues. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So I'm getting requests for starting some meditation. So let me just do a quick session review. So what we have done since morning today is, after getting the brief introduction, we are in the second part of the module. And the module, all you all know, is all about spirituality in your practice. How do you really practice? We started with the first activity on what is spiritual care, what does it mean for me, and you all came out with nice meanings. And also, when you have witnessed it, that really helped you in coming out with a few meanings, because once you witness something, it's easy to speak about it. If you don't witness, it's difficult. So I'm sure all of us at every point in our life, somewhere or the other, as you are, all of you all are agreeing, that this is this care which comes to us suddenly. We don't even realize we got it from someone, maybe from God, we say, or from someone around. So we discussed that meaning. After that, Anu sister really went into the depth of the meditation or visualization exercise, I would say, inner sanctuary. Like, everything is just inside. We choose whether to use or not. So we choose to use our values. Same thing. Spirituality is a very big value we have. We decide whether to choose or not. So the more we choose to use it, the more we become more and more sort of a spiritual person. That's what we started with last time. Because it's a treasure house. A sanctuary is nothing but a treasure house. And more we start using it in our behavior, in our profession with people, the more we'll be able to develop it. Following that, we went into the detailed aspects of the patient perspective and a healthcare or doctor's perspective of what is their spiritual needs. A few people also mentioned about physical needs. That's okay. It's good to know physical needs, but spiritual needs are the one which are not really met for. So as someone said, that even doctors feel that they should be listened to. I mean, हम कितना सुने दूसरों का, people say ना, कितना सुन सुन के अभी हम ही भारी हो गए हैं. So if it's a counseling skill to listen to others, but we should also look at the practitioner. If he's also listening, and many people also said about meditation, relaxation, having breaks in between from the practitioner point of view. So all those. And then finally, we were on the last exercise where what we did, we reflected on around 5 minutes on that. What are the feelings which have emerged? Whatever module we have done today, the second half of this module, what feelings has it emerged in you? I can see a few participants have already left. Everyone has other commitments as well, but we have around next 4 minutes. So in the last 1 minute activity, which I think Anu sister would be taking a meditation wrap up, just try to explore on those feelings. What feelings you all had doing this module today? What has it aroused in you? And before I forget, our very own lovely co-facilitator, Meetha Bhai, Praful Bhai, for some reason he was not able to join in the start. And he would be there with us now to wrap up and also tell us some concluding remarks on that. So I think Praful Bhai is also there. He started sharing his screen as well for some reason. And over to you, Anu sister, for the last 1 minute meditation.
Okay, Praful Bhai, you want to say something before we go there?
Asking me?
I'm asking Praful brother, and you have to unmute Praful Bhai. And then Dr. Mehta, you can also give us one.
Dr. Mehta, maybe you can, maybe Dr. Mehta, maybe you can start. Yeah.
Yes. So Dr. Mehta, if you can say something, give a remark for the session.
I see some pictures of Daljit Dosanji. I don't know. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Because some other pictures are coming on my screen. Anyway, I think it was a beautiful experience. Very well done. Congratulations and best wishes. We continue to do this. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mehta. So this was the second session, and the next session, which will be the third part of this module, we'll be having next Saturday. So I hope all of you all would try joining in, and I'm sure that the last part will be more deeper, and a lot of things we'll get to reflect upon. So yes, with those words, Sister Anna, would you like to take a group photo before we end?
So everybody, please open up your videos and we'll take a picture. That's what we see ourselves. That beautiful, smiling, content, happy, spiritual beings. Thank you.
Okay, so on the count of 5.
Oh, sorry.
We still have some videos being, yeah, I think all of them are there now. So on the count of 5, we'll click the photo, okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Thank you, everyone. So we'll just do a small closing meditation. Sister Anu will guide us through, and then we'll close.
Okay, sit, relax, and take a deep breath in and breathe out. Very fast. So feel the concentrated spiritual energy that you are. We all are. Spiritual energy is beautiful, positive, happy, caring for each other. We are all the same. So beautifully deep within, I went in and saw myself, that true myself, enriched with values, love and acceptance for all, and most of all for myself. So whatever I have experienced today in the session, through all the activities, I have learned deep within, and it will stay within me as an awakened awareness, not just for today, but every moment now onwards. Everyone is a beautiful spiritual being. I love myself and I love everybody I meet. So with this, I move into my life with myself, that beautiful, valuable myself. So thank you, everyone. And I look forward to see you all in the next session for Spirituality Part 3. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thanks the entire team. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you
Thank
all.
you, everyone. Thanks
Thank
to
you very
BK.
much.
Thank you.
Thank
Indeed,
you.
deep
Thank
gratitude. Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Shanti.
you.
Thank
Om
you.
Shanti.
Thank you.